Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my channel, Sensei444. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. If not, and you like this video, think about subscribing. It's free if you have a YouTube account. And that way, if you click the bell after you subscribe, you'll be notified of all my uploads. Okay, today I have a Shein haul, and if you watched any of my prior videos, you would know that I had an issue with Shein in which they were blocking me from the $40 credit back or win $40 of credits button that they had on their site. And whenever I clicked the button, it would take me to a page that said, sorry, the event is over. After going back and forth quite some time, they notified me that I had been blocked, and I said, well, what did I do wrong? And they could only give me examples of something that might get me blocked, which I did neither. They gave me 2 examples. And so they never let me in there, and I am still talking to them about it, but now I have a guy who just keeps insisting that I didn't complete the purchase requirement. And I don't know if you're familiar with Shein or these apps, but when you click on like the $40 credit back, it'll usually tell you how much you have to buy to get $40 credits back, and it will let you put things in your cart. Well, when I click on it, it doesn't even do that for me. It just goes to a page that just says, sorry, the event is over. And so I'm trying to get it through to them that it's not because I didn't complete the purchase, it's that it won't let me even initiate the purchase to get the credits. So anyways, I don't want to harp on that. I've talked about that already. I have some really old earrings on here. These earrings were from a store that used to be around in the 2000s called Dots. And I love that store. When they first started out, everything was $10 and below. And it started to get more pricey as time went on, but it was never very expensive. And some of their things were very, very nice. And I never even wore these. I was wearing this little necklace today that I got from a yard sale, just because I just threw it on. I didn't really want to take time to pick something out, but I figured with the white little bit of lace here on the collar, I would wear this. And then when I got home, I was thinking, where are those earrings? And it took me quite a while to find them, but I found them, and there they are. They're kind of outrageous, kind of big and obnoxious, just like I am. Okay, so let's start with this Shein haul, and then I will have a short dating story horror at the end. Okay, the first thing is another newsboy cap I got. I don't know if you saw a while back I showed 2 faux leather newsboy caps that I got, one in brown and one in black. Well, this is kind of a lighter fabric. It's lighter weight and it's a light color, so I thought this will be a good one for summer. And really, these caps fit me the best out of all of the styles of caps because I have a large head. And so a lot of the caps don't fit or they don't come down far enough, but these fit and I love them. And so this is the latest one. So maybe I'll keep that on here for a while. And I have my little cardinal here, which was from my last Temu haul. Okay, and burning brightly. Okay, the cap here was $6.69 on Shein, and this is a Shein haul. So let's get right to it. I hope everybody's doing really well, and thank you for coming back to my channel. I really appreciate you guys so much. It gives me a sense of community when I make these videos. I don't know. That's how I feel. Alright, I got this eyeshadow, $2.90, and you see how it was packaged in this thick foam and a bag, which I love. I'm glad that they did that because they protected it. And it's Sheglam, which is it's a makeup brand on Shein, Sheglam. And this one is a 9 to 5 eyeshadow palette, and it's called Status Symbol. Those are the colors, Status Symbol. And let me show you these. It has a lot of orange tones in these. There's some orange tones. There's like a dark gray. Is that a gray or a brown? That's a brown. And there's some matte color, terracotta and beige, and some orange tones. So we'll have to see how that is. Let me just put a little bit on here to see how pigmented it is. Do you see that on there? I don't think you do. Let me put it back here. There you go. Kind of. I don't know. I'd say it's pigmented, but I don't know if it's very, very saturated, but I'll see. I'll have to let you know after I try it out. And the eyeshadow I have right on now is a eyeshadow palette that I got from Temu in the beiges and browns, and I like it. It has matte, kind of neutrally type colors that are not very loud, and it's very flattering. And I put on some brown eyeliner. I could not find brown mascara, but that's what I would have worn if I could find it, but I'm wearing black. And all right, let's see, what do we have here? What do we have here? What do we have? What do we have? Okay, yeah, what do we have? Oh, this is a blouse. Okay, and it's like this brown blouse. It has like a weave fabric that almost looks like linen, but of course it's poly. And let me stand up to show you this, because it has these flowers along the hip area, and it's big in the hip area. It's larger in the hip area than it is up in the shoulders and in the sleeves. And I think I got a 1X in this, and it was amply large. $7.82. Let me see what the fabric on that one was in case you're interested. 100% viscose. All right, and it has it's a textured fabric. I don't know if you can see the texture there, but it's not like a flat fabric. It's kind of has, like, you could see like the stitching sort of in it. I like that. And on that one I got a 1X. And I've talked about my sizing before. I usually wear a US size 1X. This shirt being a 1X from Shein. That runs a little smaller, I found, but this particular blouse fits very well in a 1X. If you click on the size that you're interested in or that you think would fit you, it will usually show you measurements that are according to that size. Now, I have found that on Temu also, but I have found that in Temu, if I click a 1X, the measurements it shows are always the same. You know, like I think a bust line of I don't know, just to give you an example, the bust line's always 44 to 46 when I click on either a 2X or a 1X. Whereas on Shein, I've noticed that they vary depending on the style. Shein also has a little diagram, and a lot of times they will show you what the fit of that blouse is, like whether it's loose, form-fitting, slim fitting, which they mean is snug. Okay, now this blouse was $7.80, and it is a size 2XL, and it's kind of a lacy, I would call this a melon color. It's like a coral orange type with like a kind of a sheer lace up around the collar and the shoulder and the arms. And it's just a straight down kind of a V-neck. And $7.80, that was a 2XL. And let's see what the fabric was. The fabric was 95% poly, 5% elastane, and it just basically says wash with like colors, machine wash cold, gentle cycle, do not bleach, tumble dry low iron if needed. I don't really tumble dry my Shein items, especially if they have like lace like this or elastic. I did that with one when I first got it, and I ruined it. I ruined the lace. It kind of got like fuzzy. So now I don't do that. I will take this out. I will wash it probably in warm water, and then take it out and hang it to dry. And that one, again, was $7.80, guys. $7.80. I don't have as much jewelry on this particular haul. Okay, then this next top I got is like a light pink with like a black, a V-neck with a black lacy trim on the collar, and is like a peplum top because it comes up here like a empire type waist. And the sleeves were just ordinary, and it's very soft, very stretchy fabric, which is what I really liked about it, and I like the colors. And that one is 3XL. I got that kind of large because I was going by the measurements. Okay, 94% polyester, 6% elastane, and it's very soft and very stretchy. I love that. And I thought maybe it would be a little too low cut for me, but it's not. When I put it on, it looks fine. Okay, it was something I can do with that though when something is low cut. If you don't want to wear it, like I couldn't wear a black tank under that because I suspect that the tank would show through the fabric with the fabric not being super thick. So what I'm doing right now is I'm ordering from Temu a strip of lace that's about 9 inches in width. I'll show it to you when I get it. And I'm going to like tack that to my bra if I'm wearing something low cut. And that way I'm getting white and black, so I can do that with 2 color tones. Okay, what did I say that one was? $7.80. I can't guarantee you'll get these prices. I've mentioned before that the prices fluctuate daily, hourly, depending on what you have in your cart. They fluctuate all the time. Okay, I had a white blouse like this that was long sleeve, but I realized I didn't have anything like that for the summer. And it has that little 3-flower trim around the collar, and it's short sleeved. And it's very soft. It's kind of soft and stretchy like that pink blouse I showed. And on this one, I got a size 3XL, and it was $7.82. Now, this must have been a slim fitting. That's why I got a 3XL, and it fits perfectly. It's not big on me at all, even though I wear a US 1X. And again, this one was 95% polyester, 5% elastane. What a surprise, right? What a surprise. All right, let's see what else we have here. Okay, I got some shorts. These are similar to a couple pairs of shorts that I showed in a prior video, but this one has it is buttons and has a zipper, and it's a very textured kind of jacquard fabric with raised. It's green with these raised golden flower designs on it. And I got it a little bigger. I got it in a 2X. Those other two that I showed in a prior video, there was a blue pair and a red pair. They also had like the raised flower. I got those in a 1X, and they do fit, but they're pretty short. So I got this one in a 2X. This one's a little bit longer. Comes down a little farther on the thigh. And those, $7.82. Okay, oh no, that was the other blouse. $6.20, I'm sorry. These were $6.20 in a size 2XL. If the fabric feels like something you might make drapery out of, it's nice and thick and kind of starchy, if you like that kind of thing. And it was a 2X, 100% polyester. It doesn't really stretch except for the elastic around the back of the waist. God knows I like elastic. Now that I'm older, I definitely got to have my elastic on. All right. What is this? This is a blouse, and it was $4.46, or at least that's what I paid. It kind of has these bat wings. There was one very similar to it with a crew neck, but they wanted like twice as much for that one as this. Now this one is kind of ruched there on the sides, gathered, and it's snug around the waist and hip, and it's a little bigger up around the shoulder. And the sleeves are kind of, they flare out. I think they call this like a bat wing. And I got these to go with some summer slacks that I have that I bought. I showed in a video long, long ago that are like paper bag style where you have like an elastic waist with a tie, because anything long, it doesn't look right with those kind of pants. So I got something that would be kind of short and easy to tuck in or easy to bunch up above my waist. And it's kind of a thicker fabric. It kind of feels like men's cotton t-shirts, but of course it is. Dun dun dun. 5%, 95% polyester, 5% elastane. No surprise there. And what did I pay for that again? $4.46. I don't know what the weather has been like where you are, but I know next week it's going to get so hot. I don't think I'm ready for that. I don't think I'm ready for that at all. All right. This next top I got in a 2XL. It was $5.52. And this is a store on Shein called Daisy, D-A-Z-Y. And I really should have got a 3X in this because the Daisy items are based more on Korean sizes is what it said. So this is a 2X and it's very form-fitting. It does fit, but I tend to like things a little looser. It's a crop top, another one to wear with the paper bag shorts. It has that eyelet closure in the back with one button, and it has a raised texture on it, like a three-dimensional effect there, if you can see. It's very stretchy. It's maybe semi-sheer. Not too bad, though. I think if you wore a bra that was a similar color to this, you'd be okay. Because in the summer, who wants to wear layers? It's just too hot. And with it going to be in the 90s, no way. Okay, 95% polyester, 5% elastane. My sister and I had this debate about wearing tank tops when your arms are kind of scary like mine. Like ever since I lost weight, my arms just feel like, it just looks like they hang and stuff. And I don't love my arms at all. I tend to either wear a shrug or a cover up if I'm wearing a tank so that my arms aren't just out hanging there. But I'll tell you what, when it's 95 and it's that hot, I'm going to do whatever I have to survive, and I will be wearing tank tops. And yeah, I do wish my arms look a little better, but I was told by a doctor since I lost 100 pounds, he says I have a lot of hanging skin, and he puts my actual weight more like 180 if I had the skin removed, which that's hard for me to believe because I weigh, like right now I'm weighing about 210. So that's hard for me to believe that I have 30 pounds of hanging skin. God, you can't win. You finally lose weight and then you've got all this hanging skin. Okay, let me see. Did I say what the fabric was on that? 95% poly, 5. Why do I even bother? 5% elastane. Okay, this next top was $6.08, and I gotta say, out of the whole haul, I am probably the least satisfied with this top. It has this mesh netting see-through material, and I like the color and I like the flowers, and it has like a built-in tank. So let me show you how that looks when it's on. It's kind of heavy too, which I think will be kind of maybe too warm in some of the days to come. But you know, maybe on a cooler summer day. But and see, so it has a built-in tank. The thing I don't love about it, I think it could have been a little bigger. I got a 2X, and I think I should have got a 3X on this. Oh no, I only got a 1X. No wonder. You know, it probably would look better if it were larger on me. And it has this kind of hanging skirt there at the bottom that I don't love, in a beige tone that sticks out. I think it would have been better if the whole shirt was, you know, a single monochromatic, but it's a beige tank top built in with a beige skirt on the bottom, and it's supposed to go off one shoulder, but it's small enough that I could wear it up on both shoulders. And again, that one was $6.08, and that one was think I said it was a 1X. And it is 72% polyester, 23% viscose, and 5% elastane. It has a little stretch. Now the tank part of it that's underneath has a little more stretch, but the outer shell does not stretch very much, if that makes any sense. Okay, I didn't get much jewelry in this haul, but I did get this set of 6 pair of earrings, and the 6 pairs were $1.61, and they're mostly like in a black. There's like a black matte thick hoop, and then there's thinner shiny black hoops, and then the one pair that's different are those with the purple and white kind of transparent acrylic, and they're all posts. And it was just a really great deal, $1.61 for all of these. And since I don't really have the black toned, I don't have much jewelry in a black tone. I did get a necklace a while back that was like a cross, and it was a layering piece I showed in one of my prior videos. So I wanted something to kind of wear with that. And so I will wear these earrings. You got one large pair that's about almost 2 inches, one smaller pair that's about 1.25 inches, and then three smaller sets. Okay. All right, let's see. Let me see. Oh. Okay, this was a coat. Yeah, I had been eyeing this coat for quite some time, and the price would go up, and then it would come down, and then it would go up. And it's a faux leather, and I thought, based on another faux leather coat that I either got off Shein or Temu, that thing was so darn thin. So when they were asking 20 something for this coat, I'm like, what if it's really thin like that one I got? And I'm not going to be happy. But I had it in my cart forever, and then it finally dropped in price down to $11.23. So I thought, all right, I mean, even if it's thin, you know, what can you get for $11.23? So I took a chance on it, and I am really pleased with this because it has the faux fur collar. It has the faux fur cuffs sewn on the cuffs, and it actually is not thin, and it has a liner, a nice liner built in, and it is not really lightweight. So I think in the fall I will get a lot of use out of this. Now I think it is a polyurethane type material, so, and I did get a 2X, and it's not too big at all. It's very form-fitting, and it ties. It has a little belt. It has a little belt right there. Tie it on, and it has pockets. Because some of the Shein coats that I got and some of the Temu coats did not have pockets. So for $11.23, I am very pleased with this. Very pleased. Now, I don't know if you've ever worn this kind of material, this faux leather, but you do tend to sweat in it a little bit. So I would definitely wear like maybe a long sleeve cottony type shirt or a sweater under it to give something between your skin and the fabric. I think that the lining, it's probably polyester too, but it feels like a nylon lining. Let me see what this is made out of, guys. 2XL, 100% polyester. Okay. All right. That's that one. Okay. Put that aside. Guys, all right, I'm so happy to be talking to you guys. I really enjoy this. This is like the highlight of my day. That's my life for you. All right, this next one I paid $9.01, and this is in a 1XL, which they call a 14, and this is this really thick lined leggings. They're lined with fleece. They're almost like heavyweight sweatpants. And I wanted these for the winter. They're a 1X, but they do fit me. I tend to wear a little bit of a smaller size on the bottom half than the top half, with my waist obviously being the worst, the most out of proportion part. And in a 1XL, these are in a green, like a forest green color. 95% poly, 5% elastane, but it is very stretchy. It has nice elastic in the waist. The elastic is about that thick between those two fingers, but it has this kind of appearance of being thicker than that. And it's long enough for me. I'm 5'8", and sometimes I have trouble with things not being long. And if I remember my poor mother, my God, when I think of how hard my parents worked, I just, yeah, I really have to think about that, because she worked, my dad and my mom worked so hard. And I really feel like my mom went to work just so she could buy us kids things. And I remember after work, she'd come home and I'd try on clothing that I got, you know, that she bought for me or something. And she would get the tape measure out and she would put little tucks in the back of the waist, because I tended to have a small waist compared to my hips. And I was very tall and my legs are very long. The bottom half of me is much longer than the top half. I don't really have a long torso, but I have very long legs. And so she would have to let the hem out and put a new hem in so that the pants would be long enough for me. And my God, I am so grateful to her. I will be grateful to her forever for doing all that work for me. Coming home from work, then she had to shop for groceries after work. Then she had to cook, and then she had to do laundry, and then she also had to modify my clothing. Mom was incredible. I just passed the anniversary of her death. It was Flag Day. She died on Flag Day, which is ironic because she loved Flag Day. And whenever the Flag Day would come, and there'd be a big double page flag in the newspaper, and she would always look for it and hang it up in our window and everything. She was from the greatest generation. My mom was born in 1921 and had me late in life, and my dad was born in 1916, and man, he was in World War II, and my God, I appreciate them so much. Okay, so these were the heavy kind of lined leggings. They're very, very thick. I'm very pleased with those. I paid, what did I say I paid for these? $9.01. They were definitely worth it. When it gets really cold, I'm just gonna love those. I'll be wearing those all the time. Okay, the next thing I got, one day I was taking a denim jacket. Now this was a little bit much, $21.26. I suppose I must have had some credits or something, because I probably wouldn't have bought it. But I really wanted this because I do not have a pink denim jacket. One day I was looking for a denim jacket to wear, and I have yellow, I have white, and I have beige, green, and blue, and black. But then I'm like, hey, I love pink, and I don't have pink. So I went ahead and got this. This is very stretchy material. It has pockets, not just faux pockets. It has real pockets here in the front. None around the waistline, but up here it has these. Oh wait, are these real pockets? Well, before I speak, let me check. I thought they were, but no. Okay, I'm sorry I said that. I misspoke. They are not real pockets. It's faux. Okay. But it's a nice, thick, heavy denim fabric with lots of stretch. And it's not too long. It's like a slightly cropped length, but not above the waist, like to the top of the hip. And these were, I got this one in a size 3XL, and composition, 57% cotton, 30% polyester, 11% viscose, and 2% elastane, and it's very stretchy. Let me put that on for you so you can see what that looks like on. Guys, my arthritis is so horrible today. I've just been like limping along. My arms have been hurting. God, it's hard getting old. My dad used to say, getting old is not for sissies. All right, so there you go. It's a little big up here in the breast area, but it's not too big in the arms, and it's not big around the waist. It fits very well. And glad I got a 3X on that. Because if I'm going to wear like a light sweater under that, I think a 2X would have been too snug. But it does stretch quite a bit, which I love. And then that got me thinking about pink denim, because I used to have pink denim when I was in graduate school. I had a pair of Lee jeans, and they were pink, and I just love them. So I'm like, well, looking for something to get. I wonder if they have pink denim pants. And so these are 1XL. These are really stretchy. Now, I don't think I can wear them together because the two pinks are different. I don't know. Tell me what you think about that. Would you wear two different pink denim materials at the same time? Not sure if I would. But this is the 1X denim. They're very stretchy. They have pockets in the back and the front, just like a 5-pocket denim. They're not, they didn't chintz on that this time. They fit. I was a little worried they might not fit, but they fit. The only thing is I have a belly down here since I lost weight, and I like denims that kind of are tight in that area, that pull that in. And this one stretches a lot, so it doesn't really pull the area in for me. So probably when I wear these, I'll wear shapewear with them too, or some really tight elasticy underwear with them. Okay, so this one is in a 1XL. I paid, how much did I pay? I don't have the price on there. Wah wah. I'll have to get back to you on the price on those, okay? I hope that I remember that. And they are, did I say what they were? 98% cotton, 2% elastane. So they're really are denims, 98% cotton. And they're very stretchy. I love those. They were long enough. They flare out slightly, very slightly in the leg, not much. Okay, what else do we have? What do we have here? Well, we're getting to the end of this kind of quickly. I thought there was a little more jewelry. I guess not. Okay, I guess this is the last item. I hadn't been buying off of Shein because I've been blocked from that thing. Now, they did let me in the last promotion, which gave you made a purchase of, I don't know how much it was, like maybe $55, and you got a $20 credit back. And so I finally got something because they let me in on that. I haven't received it yet, so there will be another Shein haul to come. But like I said, if they keep cutting me out of promos, you know, I'll be going to Temu more often. I'm really getting a lot of promos on Temu. It's kind of almost like it was a few years ago before all the tariffs and things on Temu, because they're really giving a lot of really good promos. Okay, these are line jeans. They have like a fleece lining. They were $17.29, and they're a blue. They're in a 1X, which they call 14. And wow, these are very, very thick. They're very thick. These are going to be nice in like January. If you look at the lining, you can see it has like a attached fleece kind of lining. And they're very heavy and thick and well made. I was happy with the way they fit. They have a considerable amount of stretch, even though they're so thick. And the zipper could use a little waxing. What I do when the zipper sticks on something is I rub a candle on both sides. And that usually, my mom taught me that little trick, and that seems to really work. It's a little hack, and it helps when your zippers stick. Okay, and this one, again, was a 1XL, and it was 45% cotton, 33% polyester, 12% viscose, 6% lyocell, Lyocell, I never heard of that, and 2% elastane. and it has the 5 pockets. And I just, does it have 5 pockets or 4? 5 pocket denim. It has that little pocket there and pockets in the back, and I love them. And it's kind of like just a straight leg, straight down, kind of a slimmer fitting leg. Okay, guys, that's it for this haul. Well, let me talk about a dating story. Oh God, I did have one picked out before I started the video, but now I have to think. Okay, this is a short dating story. I don't know if I ever told this before. I did go back through some of my old videos to see if I had told the story before, and I couldn't find where I had. But it's not a very long one. So there was a guy that I was talking to, again, I believe this was on the telephone chat line called Quest. And so it had to be prior to my foray into the online computer dating. So I would say it had to be, I'm going to say the year maybe 2000 or earlier. So there was a gentleman I was meeting, and we decided to meet at the bar at a restaurant that used to be in the area called Don Pablo's. It was like a Mexican themed restaurant. And we met in the bar area. And, when he came in, I was kind of surprised how he was dressed, because it was ratty. He was definitely, didn't take time to put anything nice on. He had a really old faded t-shirt and cut off jeans that weren't cut off very evenly. I don't think he bought them that way. I think they were probably an old pair of denim that he cut off, and some kind of flip-flop sandals and everything. He was average looking, and we sat down and we ordered a couple drinks and we started to talk. And this Mexican restaurant had like the free chips and salsa, kind of like the old Chi-Chi's. I don't know if you're familiar with Chi-Chi's, but that was a Mexican restaurant around in the 90s. And I think they closed down because people were getting sick from E. coli. I think it was E. coli in their onions. I don't know. I think it was something like that. Anyways, don't quote me. I might be wrong. But anyways, they did go out of business. So this place kind of moved into our area around the time Chi-Chi's went out of business. It was called Don Pablo's. And I believe it was a chain outfit. I think there were more than just one or two. And so we were having chips and talking, and I started asking him what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? And I don't remember what he said, but he mentioned a couple of things. And so then I said, I like to sing. I used to be in bands and I love singing. I love performing. And I said, I like to go to karaoke sometimes. He didn't respond. He didn't nod or even acknowledge that I said that. He just kind of, no response, no emotional movement of the face or anything like that. So we're talking on, and honestly, I'm always thinking, like, if the date is going well, maybe we could do more now that we're both out, and I mean, I was having a reasonably good time. And so I was trying to think of something that we could do that night, and he wasn't from the area, so I think going to a movie or something like that was just not really in the picture. So I said, again, I really, like I said before, I said, I love karaoke, and I said, there is a bar near me that has karaoke tonight. I think it was like a Thursday night or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, tonight on Thursday nights they have karaoke. He turned around and walked right out the door. Never said a word. I guess he was, no, I guess he was irked that I brought it up again. I kind of wish he'd have just said, oh, I really don't like karaoke. But no, I mean, I brought it up again just as an aside for something for us to maybe do to extend the evening. And he just didn't say goodbye, didn't say anything, just turn around, walk right out the door. So that response coupled with the outfit he had on, I hate to say this, but I have a suspicion that he didn't really expect anything good coming out of the state to begin with. And um, sometimes the outcome is affected by expectations. So that was just my take on it. I'm glad he did that though, instead of getting mad at me or something. But it was a little disconcerting because normally people, I don't know, when you're conversing with someone, normally they'll just say something, and this time he said nothing. He just turned and walked right out. Okay, so then I wanted to mention this other aside of a date, since that was such a short story. There was somebody that was on the computer line that I met early on, toward the beginning of my foray into online dating, and I had a picture of me like kind of turned sideways, smiling, and I had this little hematite necklace on that had a half moon in it. I still have that necklace. It just had a little half moon, or like a crescent moon. And so I was talking with a guy for quite a while, and I met him at a Starbucks, and he seemed like he really liked me right off. Like, I don't know. And so the more we talked, I remember I said to him, like, what is it? What was it about me that you liked, or that you felt you wanted to meet me? And he said, that necklace you had on. And I said, oh, really? You like that necklace? And he apparently had come to some kind of conclusion that I was somehow interested or involved in the occult. And I said, no, I'm not. It's just a necklace with a moon on it. I liked it. That was kind of bizarre. So sometimes you don't know why someone likes you or doesn't like you, and that was a new one on me. He liked me because I was wearing a crescent moon necklace. All right, guys, that's my video for tonight. Leave a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. If you don't, you can thumbs down. But leave me a comment letting me know what you liked, what you didn't like. And I'll try to have more of that. Hopefully in the next few days, I hope I'm going to do these 3 items that I got for gardening off of Temu. But we'll see. I'm trying to get that done. And I do have some things here from Temu, so I am kind of setting up for the next haul. So stay tuned. Bye.